Hey guys, and welcome. Today we're gonna have a special playthrough. This game is called Aero Flux. It's an indie shooter, bullet hell shooter made by Aero. And this is as much of a video let's play as it is a method for me to give some feedback to Aero. So we'll have elements of both. The characters are Satsuki Ako and Asuna something. I don't care about Asuna much, because Satsuki's hot and Asuna isn't. So yeah, if I was playing purely, for points, I'd probably play with Asuna, because she shoots very focused shots, while Satsuki, as you can see, spreads out her shots. And Asuna's shots just fit my playstyle. Do note that while I am playing on bullet hell difficulty, the fact is that anything above hard only affects the second boss. This is the alpha, the first release as far as I know of the project. It only goes up to stage 2, but it's pretty fun anyway. This is a no bombs, no lives run, as in I didn't use any bombs or lose any lives. Very simple, really. Now, a bit about the mechanics of the game. When you tap the fire button, you move at normal speeds. When you hold it down, you move at half speed. Destroying enemies obviously gives you points, but also increases the multiplayer you see, just a bit under the name to the right. And it also gives you experience, that's the red bar. As you can see, when the red bar fills up, you power up. There seem to only be 5 levels of power. First one and 4 red ball things. Grazing enemy shots will give you bombs. That's the blue bar at the lower right of the screen. Now, touching enemies, apart for bosses, I believe, doesn't actually kill you. I find this a really good addition. It makes your maneuvering space much better, and I think it allows for even harder patterns from the enemies. Now, if you're hit by a shot, unlike in other games where you'd have to activate the bomb alone, a bomb save immediately activates. So a bomb is used up, and the screen is cleared of bullets for about 2 seconds. I think this is a really nice effect, because as far as I know, whenever you use a bomb by yourself, it does deal damage to enemies, but the bomb save doesn't. So it adds a nice element of strategy. This is the first stage, and you can see that it's the first stage. It's not especially hard, but if you're not paying attention, you die. These tower things are probably the hardest enemies in the stage, just because if you're not prepared for what I call shotgun blasts, then you'll probably get caught and die. But if you know this kind of shots, then you won't have a problem. One thing I really like about the characters' shots in this game is the graphical upgrades, because, well, there aren't that many of them. Asuna has totally 3 stars, I believe, and Satsuki only has the one you saw at first. And this one, but I think it really fits. The game is relatively simplistic as shmups go. It really adds to the charm of the game. Now, the third guy that just got out there, the big robot, he was supposed to come out way earlier. I'm not sure why he only came out now. This happened to me multiple times, so Aero, look into that. The majority of the things I have to note on the technical plane will be in the second level. Okay, the first boss. First attack I like. It really forces you to start using your ship's hitbox, because, as you know, shmups, your ship's hitbox isn't as large as your ship. It's about around your cockpit, as far as I've been able to understand. This attack is nice. It doesn't leave you much room to maneuver, so you have to, play smart, and I like that. I especially like it in the second round, because the boss follows it up with a pretty dangerous attack right after. This is probably my favorite attack of the boss. I'm very sad that when I'm recording it becomes slower, because this attack at full speed is just immensely fun to dodge. All these shots come straight at you, so it's not all that hard to dodge. But yeah, I'm assuming that in bullet hell difficulty it wouldn't be that easy. Again, bullet hell difficulty only affects the second boss. Everything else is on hard difficulty. Third attack and really a no-brainer, you just have to slowly go through the waves. But again, you have to understand your hitbox to know that. When you're holding the button, you know, moving at half speed, your character's hitbox shines occasionally. I'm not sure I'll say it because the quality kinda sucks, but you do know there's a point where we can very clearly see it on the second boss, so I'll point it out then if you haven't noticed by then. Sadly, the recording equipment and my pretty bad computer by itself make this game move pretty slowly, and yeah, this game is pretty marvelous to see at full speed, but even when I'm not recording I can't see it on full speed. Specifically, I'm talking about one or two attacks of the second boss, which I'll point out when we get there. This is the attack I was talking about. If you're trying to dodge the waves from the sides, then these bullets will get you, which is kinda cute. And then there are those spears. They're really not hard to dodge because they both aim straight for you. But I don't mind. This is usually the attack phase in which I beat the boss. I can, if I'm really lucky, beat him just before it with the Suna, whose shots are focused and not spread, as I said. But yeah. Note that the boss music, or any music really, wouldn't really loop if you're playing this game at normal speed, but sadly my computer and my recording equipment, it all makes it lag pretty hard, so you'll notice a few loops. That was the first stage, nothing too hard. I really like the first stage as a, you know, kind of an introduction to the game and the mechanics. Second stage. This stage immediately pulls out the stops. I know this stage pretty damn well, so you won't see too many enemies getting me in any kind of danger. But it does make for some awesome stuff. Now this guy, this blue enemy, I think it's a bug, but when I get too close to him, he doesn't shoot his second wave of shots. I'll point it out later because it's a really good strategy. You know, get close to him, he doesn't shoot. The other wave of shots, the purple disintegrating ones, these are used by the boss later on, and I think it's really nice. Introduce what your boss will do, and then the boss can use it in you know, in more forms. These brain enemies, which look like evolved yellow jars from the first stage, they're kind of the staple enemy of the stage. These red enemies, however, they'll show up in groups a couple of times. I like the tanks, because you see, once you destroy them, it has the same effect as a bomb. For 2 seconds, there can be no shots on the screen. Using them strategically can really help you get through some of the harder parts. The cannons on them, you know, the small cannons, not the big one obviously, they shoot small bursts of shots. You won't see it too often because they usually destroy them before they can do it. Now here you see, once I got close enough, the guy on the right stopped firing, but the guy on the left fired his entire shots. I'm not sure if this is a bug or intentional, but you might want to look into that, Pietrito. We're pretty much at the end of the stage. There's just one last stretch to go through. And after that, the second boss, who's gonna be about as long as the entire video so far, which means I'll probably have an entire video just for him. important to do is destroy all the enemies if you're going for score. But even if I'm not going for score, I like destroying all the enemies because, you know, it's just a habit. I'm pretty much a perfectionist.